What is up, guys? In this video, we're going to actually add our hero to our class. So let's hop into the CC hero class. Let's take out these X and Y values. We don't need them. That was just for demonstration. SK node already has a position property that we can use, as we've used in previous videos so far. So this is going to be fairly similar to what we did in the CC ground class. We're going to create a custom constructor. So I'm going to say init, a couple parentheses, put some brackets in here. We don't have any parameters for the CC hero because we're going to define the size ourselves in the constructor. And the reason we're doing this is just so that the size of the hero is going to correspond with the images that we have for our hero. So now that we have this, let's call the super initializer. So we're going to say super.init. And we're going to use the same one we did for the CC ground. We're going to do something a little different in that we're going to add an SK texture to start. And that SK texture is going to be contained in the Atlas's resources we have right here. So pull this folder up, we're just going to drag all the atlases into our project. And a quick explanation of what an atlas is. It's really just a series of images that create an animation when run together. So let's do that. Let's grab all these, drag them over. Be sure that all these options are checked. Make sure it's create groups and not create folder references. It will cause you problems later down the line if you do that on accident. Copy items if needed is checked, and the Neo Ninja project is checked as well. Awesome. So now that we have this added, we can grab the image that we're looking for this first video here. So we're going to make the hero be the idle 000 image to start. So for our texture, we're going to say sk texture, call a constructor on it, and it's going to be, we have an image name constructor, so we can just throw in that idle ___ 000.png. And it should grab that image and create an SK sprite node with that image for us. For the UI color, let's just do clear color because we don't want here to have a background. For our size, we're going to do a size of 30 by 55. And this is the size that just corresponds to the assets we just added to the scene. It's going to throw this error just because we need to add in this little filler constructor. And that should be good for creating a basic hero here. So let's go into our scene and add him. We're also going to organize the scene a little bit. So the more assets you add, the more you kind of want to split things into different functions, just so you can kind of see where everything's happening. So I'm going to create a couple functions that will encompass this behavior right here. So I'm going to say func load background is one of them. And func, oh, keyboard just had a weird issue there. Func load grounds right here. So this isn't going to have any practical purpose it's not going to add any functionality to our app. It's just going to make it a little more organized for us. So let's copy the background stuff into the load background function, the ground stuff into the load ground function, and then be sure to call them in the did move to view. So load backgrounds, load grounds, and now what we're going to do is load hero. So we're going to create that function as well. Func load hero. So because we are going to be accessing our hero in multiple functions in our scene, we're going to do the same thing we did up here, in that we're going to create the hero as kind of outside all of the functions in our game scene. Our CC hero, and we're going to leave it undefined because we're going to be defining it in the load hero function. And so we're just going to say hero equals CC hero. So pretty simple. It's just going to call the stuff that we did, that we just wrote out in this CC hero function right here. So constructor, sorry. So let's go into our game scene. Now we just need to position the hero. So we want our hero to be about a fifth of the width inward and just sitting above the ground. So let's say a hero.position equals CG point make. We're just going to do frame.size.width over 5. And remember this frame, I can also put in the self keyword there. It's the same thing, but this frame is just accessing the frame of our SK scene, of the game scene we have right here. For the height, let's make it frame.size.height over 2. And we also need to add half the height of the hero. And the reason is, at this point, the hero is basically in the center of the screen. The ground is kind of running through him. So we just need, because it's positioned via the center of the node. So let's say plus hero.frame.size.height over 2. I hope you guys are kind of starting to get used to the organization of some of these elements here. I know it takes a little bit, but it should be kind of starting to get ingrained. Last but not least, let's add the hero to the scene, and let's run this thing. So at this time, we don't have any of the animation functionality implemented. We're going to do that in the next few videos, and that's probably going to be a pretty fun part of the course, because animations are always pretty cool to get working. So awesome. So we have our hero. We added him to our scene, and we'll start doing some cooler stuff in the next videos.